Hey, how's it going, guys? Joanna Charlotte here. Yes, I am. I'm still here. It's been a long time since we've last spoken. I was on YouTube earlier tonight looking at some stuff, and I found that the last video I posted was March 10th of 2021. Well, I have to say the last few years have been somewhat of a ride. And I think it'll take a video or two or three to expound on that. But the reason I'm here tonight is I wanted to make a third video on what it's like to date as a trans woman, but this is going to be more of a introspective view, and this is Lily in the background. Lily is my one of my little baby panthers here. She's a good girl. She's super lovey. Um, so you know, I've tried the dating site. I was back on there. I was on there recently, like a couple months ago, and then I think I might have been on. I think maybe during 2022. I don't really remember. Not really much came out of it. The usual stuff, but instead of making a video where I rant about, you know, the the people that are on those websites, their profiles, whatever that stuff. I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take because I've been doing this the last few years, is I'm gonna take a look at myself and I'm gonna try to pick myself apart and say, well, what are they seeing in me, which is more like, what are you people, those of you who are, watching this, like, well, maybe, maybe she ought to look at herself, and so I thought of it. I thought of a few things, and I think the overarching idea is that different people for different types of people, first and foremost, and it doesn't matter if you're talking about, cisgender relationships, guys and girls, or or even anything. Relationships are hard. It takes a lot of work, patience, time, and honesty, to make those things work. So, but yeah, so I look at myself, and I would say I'm not the best looking girl out there. I could stand to shed a few pounds. I know we all could, but I mean, I could. And I think the more deepish voice, I think, will throw some people off, not because it is necessarily deep, but it's the combination. If I make it known that I'm trans, then it kind of like, now you pick up on it because I said, hey, so you're going to hear the deep voice a lot more, and I think that could put some people off. Not that many people have list that they're pansexual anyway. So, and of course, pansexual that's somebody who will basically somebody that'll do any human, regardless of their identity. So, but they're few and far between. But yeah, so I thought about that, and I'm like, what what makes me me, and I think a lot of it goes back to my. I just think it's my personality in general, and it goes back to, and it's the same personality as when I dated as a guy. Um, I'm very straightforward. I'm to the point. I don't tend to mince words. I want to go after something, I go after it, and I think that for some people that's a little bit too. I don't want to say a little too, because I don't think that's the right. But it's a little much, I think, for some people. And we're dealing with a very small cross section of people. that are on any given dating site. Different ones are different themes, so you're gonna get like one slice of the pie. Versus another site might be another section of the pie, or maybe there's some overlap, but you know, it's pardon me for yawning. It's like 20 till 10, and I should be in bed. But I was like, it had been so long since I made a video, and I wanted to talk about this. So I think about like things like that. You know, so I think those things off the top of their head, and of course I've already mentioned other things. Of course, the stigma is what it is. So, but I'm gonna tell you what. Here I am in my mid to late 40s, and I've done a lot of stuff in the last like year or two. I bought a new car. I bought a house. I'm back in my home area. I'm back to work. Actually, I work. I teach at night, and I have my day job, so I'm pretty happy with that. I got my friends, I got my family, and you know I got my cats. I got my cats, and I yawned again. I'm like really really sorry because everybody who's watching this video, if you're watching it during the daytime and you just heard me yawn, you're like, you bitch. Yeah, I'm sorry. And I don't do any editing, so every video that I post is one take. Sometimes it takes like 3 or 4 takes, but you know, at any rate, you'll forgive me because you all are a very loving bunch. I hope. But at any rate, so yeah, so I'm happy. I got my cats. I'm focusing on right now. It's like, what can I do to be better? What can I do to be better at my job? How can I be a better teacher? How can I cook better? Um, how can I grow my garden better? Things like that. And so one thing I can't change is I can't not be me. So as my friend Melissa said the other day to me, she said you're a catch. I was like, you know what? Maybe I am. Well, I told her I am. Pardon the ego. But I think what it is that I think people have to get to know people. And I think with a dating site, I don't think I'm really good at, like first impressions. Not all the time. I think I can be very hit or miss. I think if I hang out with somebody, maybe like 3, 4, 5 times, or at least talk to them enough, I think that I think I think as people get to know me, I think they learn how I tick. I found that with like people I work with, people that maybe like kind of like I rub the wrong way or vice versa. I get to know them, um, and figure out like, hey, how can we work together to be productive? And I think that's part of anybody's job is like really knowing the people you work with and how to communicate. Um, so I think the whole dating thing. I think the best thing is always like if you know somebody, that's easy if your friend can match make for you, but there's you've got to do everything else in life, and one of the things that I would say is an advantage of having been signal. I got work on my having been single, for so long of a time. It kind of makes me feel pathetic thinking about that. Is that I am used to living alone, and I function very well, with just me and the cats, of course, and I'll tell you what. One of the biggest fears I had when I was going to buy a house is that I would be in a house and I would feel like really alone. Other than being in an apartment. And not gonna lie, I don't feel alone. I don't feel alone, and I don't know. It's just because like I know people who actually people I graduated with live on my street. It's kind of cool. I mean, I've got a lot of friends and family all within like two, like a radius of 2 miles. Like a plethora of people, and no, I don't feel alone, and I'm, I'm really happy to be where I am. And like I said, I've got my friends and family, and I don't know that I will. I don't know that I'll try the dating sites again. I did the one for a good while. The one where I've gotten the vast majority of dates from. The other site, I went back on it for like a week, and I was like, yeah, this is just horrible. Fake scam bots, and you look at these pictures, and they're like, it's like they were like they came out of like Cosmo or something. I've never read Cosmo, so I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. But you know, it's fake. You just know it's fake by the pictures. You see the way they respond to you and the way they write these overly bleeding heart romantic um paragraph summaries about love. Love's like every other word, and you're like, yeah, this ain't real. So I was like, nah, and I'm okay with it, and because like, what can I do? What can I do to be better? So let's focus on being happy, smiling, just being that person that might be, and pardon the cliche, but be that ray of sunshine in some stranger's life. So I think if you look at it from that point, and if you never feel alone, then are you really ever alone? That's a pretty good question to ponder. That's a deep question to ponder, at quarter to 10 on a Wednesday night. But, hey, that's why we're here, right? To philosophize about all this stuff, and but yeah. So I think just in summary, because I really just don't want to go on. And like I said, I don't really feel like the another rant is in order, because I'm not like I'm not even Mendez over here, and I'm just a normal average person, and I think people want that. Well, you know what? I don't know what people want. But other than that, those are my thoughts. So I'm gonna leave you all now, because I know you're busy people. And I'll be making a couple videos in the coming days just to talk about the last 2 years, and the whole spiel. So all right, people. Apologize for the yawning. Sorry, and I'll talk to you guys soon. So be good out there, okay? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.